So when Hatshepsut is succeeded by Thutmose III, who was her stepson, he defaced her images. Obviously, they didn't have a very good relationship, and he tried to wipe her from eternity and removed any descendants' claims to kingship. So any of her descendants could not claim to become the next king. So that's it about Hatshepsut. So let's talk about Thutmose III again. So Thutmose III, he is Hatshepsut's stepson, and he's the sixth pharaoh of the 18th dynasty. His name means Thoth, or Thoth is born. He's the greater ruler of New Kingdom. That is important to know. Thutmose III is the greatest ruler of New Kingdom. He's also referred to as the Napoleon of ancient Egypt. 18th under his rule there was 18th under his rule Egypt was able to dominate Southwest Asia. Also taxes coming from Assyria, Anatolia, and Babylonia. Traded with Nubia, Igan, Crete, and Phoenicia. Temple of Satis in Elephantine Island is a monumental project by Thutmose III, and he faced a revolt of Asiatic kingdoms under the Prince of Kadesh and Mitanni. Mitanni were the dominant force in northern Syria. So he is doing a lot of war stuff basically. So there's wars going, and then he's also doing trading stuff. And every time you have trading and winning of wars, it just happens to be a prosperous period, apparently. So when you have wars happening, these wars are with Asiatic kingdoms, and trades are with, again, Nubia, and with Crete, Phoenicia, etc. Alright. Mitanni were the dominant force in northern Syria. 17 military campaigns over 20 years before Syria was under control. So Syria was obviously a tough cookie. It was difficult to capture Syria, but finally, after 17 campaigns over 20 years, Syria was now under Egyptian control. Eventually controlled Assyria, Anatolia, Babylonia. So all these different places where you would, all these stronger locations were now under Egyptian control. One of his policies of colonization was to take sons of conquered rulers and Egyptianize them. Interesting, huh? So you take all these sons of conquered rulers and then you turn them into Egyptians. I don't know how they did it, but they did it. Famous battles at Megiddo and Kadesh. Egypt now major world power, and therefore he is referred to as the greatest pharaoh of the New Kingdom. Alright, and here's a picture of him. So he looks pretty fit. I don't know how accurate these pictures are, but you can see he looks pretty stable and pretty balanced, and really looks like the greatest pharaoh of the New Kingdom. Alright, so now this guy, Thutmose III, is succeeded by Amenhotep III. Okay, and I'm obviously don't have this put together, but I think we're skipping Amenhotep II. Okay, so Thutmose, let me just make a note of this here. Amenhotep III succeeded by Amenhotep II. Amenhotep II was succeeded by Thutmose IV, but we're not talking about these two kings. And Thutmose IV was succeeded by Amenhotep III, which we're going to discuss right here. So Hatshepsut was the 5th pharaoh, Thutmose III was the 6th, Amenhotep II is 7th, Thutmose IV is 8th, and Amenhotep is the 9th. So we're okay with our calculations of all these pharaohs. So Amenhotep III, here's a picture of him, and they all look pretty much, now they're starting to look same to me, except that he looks a little chubby. But he revived the Heliopolis